Good morning. Sorry, the chime was a little too loud. I hit it a little too enthusiastically. My name is Maddie Kolpa, and I'm a member of the board here at TVUUC. On behalf of the board and the program council, it is my honor to welcome you here this morning. Whether you are here in the building or watching online, you are welcome here. If we can find the camera with the red dot, greet everyone that's watching us from outside the room today. Whoever you are, wherever you are from, and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. If you would like more information on our church, please fill out the visitor card in the pocket in front of you or visit our website, tvuuc.org, and select Stay in Touch. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit up front where it is easier for your little ones to see what is going on. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, wiggles and giggles and all. That being said, we do ask that this morning in particular, please make sure that the gongs at the front of the sanctuary are not interfered with, either from your littles or yourselves. If you do need to step out with your child for a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is a glass-enclosed room at the back of the sanctuary where you can still see and hear the service. It is there for your family's comfort, but please do not feel obligated to use it. We understand that silence is never completely silent. If you are interested in classes for your children here at TVUUC, please visit the RE hallway after the service, which you can find through the double doors past the kitchen, to speak with an RE leader. You can also find more information on our website or some brochures and other information at the RE welcome table in the gallery. We have just a few announcements this morning. Today we have a starting point, an introduction to the Unitarian Universalist journey. This session is not only for those interested in membership, but also for established members. It offers newcomers and old-timers an opportunity to explore ways in which Unitarian Universalism can make a difference in their lives. Not only will it help you decide if UUism is right for you, but it's also an opportunity to reflect on your beliefs and values. The next session is today after the service from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. in the Lizzie Crozier French Room, and pizza will be provided. We also have an announcement from the TVUUC Worship Service Group. They are kicking off back-to-school supply days for students and teachers for Lonsdale Elementary School, Norwood Elementary, and TVUUC LRE beginning today. School supplies are to be dropped off at the church office. Suggested school supplies to donate are displayed on the hall bulletin board, advertised on Facebook, and in the TVUUC newsletter. TVUUC has a long-time volunteer support system with Lonsdale. Your support is greatly appreciated. The Worship Service Group is sponsoring the August 3rd First Sunday Lunch, and all are welcome to support with your delicious lunchbox foods and physical volunteer service with Let's Connect. Your support is greatly appreciated. All right, these announcements and others can be found towards the back of your order of service. Today is a Share the Plate Sunday, and to tell you more about what this means and how to give, here's Claudia Presley.
Good morning. As Maddie said, my name is Claudia Presley, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here at TVUUC. Today is a Share the Plate Sunday. What that means is that any contribution that comes in today that is not marked as a pledge will be split between the Share the Plate organization and the operating fund of TVUUC. Today's Share the Plate organization is Knox Pride, and Walter Davis is going to come in just a minute to tell us about Knox Pride, what they do, and why it's really important for you guys to contribute. But right now, let me just tell you a couple of ways to give. If you're seated here in the sanctuary, you can look in your order of service, and on the third page, perhaps the fourth page, it may tell you all the different ways to give. If you're watching online, there should be a Give or a Give Now button that takes you to our secure site. If you love to text, you can text the number 73256, type in TVUUC, and the amount that you would like to give. All of those ways work. Also, at a certain point during the service, our ushers will be passing offering baskets. We always accept cash and checks. So thanks very much for being here. Please give generously, and now Walter is going to tell you about Knox Pride.
In a moment, I'm going to read a statement from the director of Knox Pride, John Camp. I'm not a leader of that group, but I'm someone who feels a debt and grateful for the years it has done its work. You may know it primarily as the organization that has the big march downtown and the festival that follows. It's much more than that, and it's been more than that for a long time, even when it wasn't such a large public presence. Early celebrations were not always welcome and not met with with total welcome from the public. But it created a community of support. Am I not close enough? Sorry. It created a community of support. Knox Pride became one of the largest events of its sort in the entire Southeast, long before people expected that to happen. It created community support that also influenced other counties, my own county, Blount, Oak Ridge and Anderson County, Sevierville, Gatlinburg. We've been to Sweetwater this year, wonderful celebration. Tri-Cities, Southeast Kentucky. They were always prepared to give support to other communities that did not necessarily have resources. A lot of good people stuck their necks out to make all that possible. Some risking jobs, some risking actual violence. And the administration of Mayor Madeline Rohera engaged the city in Pride events, and that was a breakthrough and very important. And she brought her deputies along to the front of the march. As it was also, there weren't a lot of clergy who stepped forward in the early days. But today, many are present, and many LGBTQ clergy are working in this community openly, when that wasn't necessarily true before. So a community builds pride, and it has a huge impact on other things about the character of that place. A loving commitment to care for one another and to protect each other. Right now, the state's largest denomination seeks to remove marriage equality and is trying to use the state and federal government to do so. They've already erased trans women and trans men from laws and on the state and federal level. We paid too high a price to get where we are. We will not go back to the days of concealment, and we will have the power to provide honest support. John Camp writes, Knox Pride is a vital organization dedicated to fostering a supportive and inclusive environment for the LGBTQ+ community in Knoxville and the surrounding areas. by organizing a range of events, educational program, resources. Knox Pride works to promote awareness, celebrate diversity, and advocate for the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals. Their events, pride celebrations, provide a platform for community members to come together. And that doesn't just include LGBTQ+ members of the community. That's been one of the powers of the movement. The food pantry is a crucial resource, providing essential groceries and supplies to individuals and families, and it doesn't restrict who the sexual identity or sexual orientation of the users are. In addition, Knox Pride offers life skill classes, empowering community members with practical knowledge that can lead to greater independence and self-sufficiency. Their classes include financial literacy, navigating challenges and how to find employment, outreach programs to the homeless, which is unusual that is part of a Pride community, and support services of other kinds. And you'll hear more about those services in the following week. Support Pride because it's about you as much as it is about people like me. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia and Walter. After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in the Fellowship Hall. If you are visiting and would like a tour of the building or have questions about our church, you can look for me there, and I'll be glad to chat and show you around. And now, if you have not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter worship together.
Good morning. Today's service is brought to you by the spiritual care team. We decided to do another service this summer to help the congregation and the greater community learn about how we help ourselves so that you can take inspiration. For our service is titled How to Stay Centered in Times of Chaos and Disruption and Craziness, like what we're experiencing now with our weather, our economy, our government. So this is a time for us to share, and I invite the members of the team that are going to be doing the service with me to come up now and sit on the couch behind me. We have Mike Matfee, Tina Becker, and John Montgomery joining me today to bring this service to you. So I often tell my participants in my sound baths at the end to feel grateful for themselves, because we often give and give and give, but filling our own cups is so very important. Because if we don't fill our own cups, how can we fill others? If we are empty, how do we work to make others full? So just remember, if you've ever flown on an airplane, they always say to put the oxygen mask on yourself before your child or other person. And this is just a reminder of how to do that. So I invite you to join us today in the spirit of self-care and self-realization and enjoyment and exploration. So please rise as we sing our chalice lighting song. And please come to your teal hymnal for hymn 1009, Meditation on Breathing. So I'm Mebbie Jackson, and I'm a member of the spiritual care team. And I'm here to share joys and concerns today, as well as do a few other things. We are a group of heart-centered, deep listeners who care to the needs of the congregation. And you can reach us through the spiritual care line, which is printed in your order of service, or you can find it on the website. We also do listening booths on the second Sunday of every month, and that is today. So you can look for Tina and Mike after the service. Give them a moment because they're busy today. But give them a moment and come and talk with them, because having someone to listen to you is such a gift. And we are really open to sharing that gift. So if you would like to take a moment to have someone hear you, Mike and Tina will be available after the service. And also, we also support the caring card table. So if you have a moment after the service and you haven't already done so, please visit the caring card table and sign the cards for the concerns that we have today. Our first concern or joy is for the Williams family. The Elnora Williams family remembers the joy, the vigor, the vitality, the loving and beautiful push of their twin daughter, Elandria, to accomplish so much for family, church, and community. This is her 46th birthday, and her hardworking, dedicated family man twin brother, Frederick, stays the course of this day. So we celebrate her today with these beautiful flowers that you see and the love in our hearts for the Williams family. Our hearts also go out to Doris Ivy, who recently had a knee replacement. May her recovery be swift and total. And Jackie Courtney has been experiencing some ongoing pain from a recent injury. Let's send her some light and love so that she can find relief soon. We have a couple of sad things. We just recently learned that Sharon Rausch passed away. She was the daughter of longtime member Norman Rausch. And we also regret to report that Marilyn Weiberly died about 2 weeks ago. She was a former member here at TVUUC, and she moved to the Foothills UU Fellowship some years ago. Our hearts go out to Marilyn's husband, Al, and the rest of the Weiberly family. So as we carry these joys and concerns in our hearts, both the ones I spoke of, the ones that haven't been spoken of, and the ones that are very deep and seated in our hearts, we will begin to sing this beautiful song. So please join us as we sending the light, sending you light.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm here today to share the practices and habits that I employ when times get tough that help me stay centered and keep up my resilience and strength. The latest situation that came into my life 3 months ago on this day is that my husband of 50 years died. He was distracted, I was distracted from day-to-day living, couldn't focus or concentrate, and what helped me the most was to just accept that this was going to be like this for a time and I would eventually come out of it, and I certainly am. I continued through this my daily exercise of either swimming, doing yoga, and had recently added a step bench routine. This would give me a physical lift and make me feel like I did something for myself. By attending worship services, I was comforted by the kindness and caring of friends and the uplifting music, readings, and homilies. As in the past, I get a lot out of hiking and just walking in nature. At this point, I know some of you might be saying to yourself, who has time for a practice when times get tough and you're working and raising a family? I can understand. I'm at a place in my life, retired, after running my business of 40 years, so I do have more time, thankfully. My mother, who worked part-time while raising 3 kids with help from Dad, every afternoon took a 30-minute nap, and we helped by being quiet. I never used to be a napper, but I do now when I feel like it, and it seems to sharpen my outlook. Building strong relationships with loved ones and friends provides needed support, and I do this by sharing a meal and attending musical events, mostly one-on-one. Little things bring me joy and satisfaction, and you can laugh, but going through the motions of folding laundry, dishwashing, caring for houseplants, vacuuming are all necessary and provide a little exercise. I have sound speakers in each room where I can listen to music, to a podcast, or news when I get things done. I get a massage twice a month and attend a sound bath monthly. Both are great for alleviating tension in the body and help center me. I want to remind you that one of the themes of today's service is personal practices in challenging times, and that's what I'm offering my personal practices. I consider myself a lifelong learner and have had the opportunity of attending most summers for 2 weeks or so the Chautauqua Institution in Western New York, situated by a lake where you attend lectures, concerts, and special studies. I believe we always need to be learning something new, something out of our element. That's why I learned how to run the sound system here at TVUUC for many years. I enjoy following a recipe, and recently I've been doing something new, which is baking sourdough breads. I'm back at it. I just couldn't concentrate or look at a recipe shortly after Dave died. I have to limit my exposure to the news and social media. Have you noticed that so much of it is information on a repeating cycle and sometimes makes you feel hopeless to do anything about it? It's comforting that I can do helpful things on a local level and still be a part of the big picture. So what practices can help in tough times? Yoga, exercise, Tai Chi, naps, sound baths, and meditation are a few that can relieve stress and bring the nervous system back into balance. Building strong relationships with loved ones and friends will provide needed support and help guide one in good and bad times. Leaning on a support group is good. Asserting yourself, reflecting on past situations that were positive, are all healthy coping mechanisms to deal with tough times. And in my case, opening a new book on the couch with my 3 cats, Henry on my lap, Victor on my legs, and Skeezix up by my head. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. And while I'm saying thanks, I want to thank all the other members of the spiritual care team for allowing me to be a part of the team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe it was during a workshop that I attended during grad school that I first heard the phrase, "Everything is easier with support." All these years later, this truth still resonates with me. I suppose I may have been vaguely aware of this concept, even if I never said it out loud. We all go through difficult periods in our lives. We might even say it's inevitable. Loss, pain, and/or loneliness are a part of life for most people. While most of us found ways to cope with these emotional challenges well enough on our own, there are times when the comfort of being able to call a family member or a loved one is helpful. At times, some of us can be a little reluctant to ask for this kind of help. I know I'm not always willing or eager to reach out. I'm also confident that I'm not the only one for whom this is true. So, if you're one of us for whom asking for help can be difficult, remember to remind yourself that everything is easier with support, and perhaps you'll be motivated to reach out when you feel the need. Some of us are virtually surrounded by supportive people who can sense when we're in need of a little sympathy or a bit of empathy. On the other hand, some of us must reach out for support during stressful times. Most of us are probably somewhere in between. Whatever our situation may be at any given time, I hope each of us is able to find the support we want when we feel the need. Support can come in many forms. There are times when we can use help moving a sofa. There are times when we seek out someone with whom to share our story. Then there are times when we simply want someone with whom we can share a quiet moment, or perhaps several quiet moments. Being supportive of a friend or family member doesn't require a degree in counseling or any special training. That said, there are workshops available that teach basic skills that can improve a person's ability to provide a comforting presence. Also, there are books that offer tips on how to be supportive in ways that are helpful without being overbearing or intrusive. For example, I don't need to ask someone about their relationship history in order to lend a sympathetic ear when that person is going through a rough patch with their partner. It's not necessary for me to know a person's medical history to be able to offer support when someone is experiencing a health issue. By the same token, I don't need to know the details of someone's stock portfolio to listen to them as they share with me that they have encountered an unexpected expense about which they are concerned. We can all make another person's life a little easier by listening to them if and when they choose to talk about stresses with which they are trying to cope. Please support me as I find my second page. Thank you. Whatever our individual situation may be, a little emotional support can go a long way toward making a difficult time seem a little less difficult. My hope for each and every one of us, myself included, is that when the time comes, we will reach out for whatever form of support we need and that we find the support we seek. Thank you. Thank you, Mebbie. Please remain seated as we open our hymns, our teal hymnal to hymn 1006, In My Quiet Sorrow.
here. As we gather here today in friendship and community, taking a moment out of our busy lives to learn, share, and reflect on the insights, experiences, and wisdom of others, we are reminded of how blessed we are. In the current world around us, there are many who suffer and face grave challenges. We stand in solidarity with them in compassion and by practicing loving kindness to ourselves and all those around us. Taking a couple of stanzas from Metta, that's M-E-T-T-A, or compassion meditation, let us engage in the power of prayer that connects us, irrespective of religion, with our beliefs and ideals more deeply helping us to hold them in our minds as we go about our daily business and helping us to develop a stronger sense of conviction. Let us pray the following in the name of all that is good. May we all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to us. May we all also have patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. May our parents, our teachers, and mentors, our friends, and may all living beings across the world be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May they also have patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. I now invite you to sit in silence with the sentiment of this prayer.
You're together, you got nothing to prove. When you're together, you got nothing to lose. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger. then you find yourself. Riding on the road rough. Gotta find people want to make you feel equal. Pick you up and don't put you down. Never find your way in the lost and found. In a world of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find you lost. You ain't going alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you find yourself. One to understand you, one to lend a hand to you, one to don't demand anything from you. You gotta find people, want to make you feel alright, tell you the truth and wish you well. You gotta find people, you gotta find yourself. You gotta find people, then you find yourself.
What keeps us centered in difficult times? In difficult times. You need more microphone, okay? Thank you. In difficult times, what word comes to mind to you when you hear that difficult times? Anybody? What? Help me out here. Say it again. God. Okay, thank you. Pardon? Friends. Okay. When I heard this about difficult times, the word that came to mind to me was politics. So I'm going to be talking about politics. Now, this is not going to be a partisan talk about politics, because what I'll have to say fits if I'm on the right, on the left, or in the middle. It's what sustains me in these difficult times. I start with the words of Bette Midler in her song, From a Distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I can't comprehend what all this fighting is for. Well, I want to be a friend to people who I disagree with politically. I want to be able to look at them and feel like they look like my friend. But if I'm responding with hate, if I'm responding with anger, if I'm demonizing them, I can't see the good in them. I can't see that they're like me in many ways. They're wanting to do good. We just see it differently. One of the things I do to try to help myself along here is avoid judging. Avoid judging myself, and that sometimes is the hardest, but also avoid judging others. To help me avoid judging others, I have three core beliefs. Number one, I believe that everybody's doing the best they can. Number two, they don't need me to fix them. And number 3, everybody deserves compassion when they're suffering. Everybody. Even people who are a force for ill in this world need compassion when they're suffering. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try to stop them, because I am, but I don't have to hate them. I put this to the test. When I hear a politician saying something that I'm vehemently opposed to, I say, that's their job. They're doing a good job of that. They're doing what they think is right, and their supporters think is right. The joke around our house is everybody's got to have a job. Bank robbers, they got to have a job. They rob banks. They take care of their families. They're doing what they think's right for them. I think it's wrong. But I can relate to somebody like a bank robber that's out there doing something and they think they're doing the right thing. I can relate to that. I've made mistakes. I've done bad things. I've never robbed a bank. But once I broke into a house and stole something, along with some other kids in the neighborhood, we tore up that place, broke bottles, broke all kinds of things. We were having a great time. We thought we were doing what we ought to be doing. I'm ashamed of that, but it doesn't make me evil. And I bet you've done things that you're not proud of. Think about it. Being in a jam and you made some decisions and they were the wrong decisions. And you were doing bad things. But that doesn't make you evil. Well, to help me along this path, I rely on some words from Thomas Merton. The beginning of love is letting those we love be perfectly themselves and not twisting them to fit our own image. Otherwise, we only love the reflection of ourselves we see in them. That's what sustains me in these difficult political times.
So it's hard to follow that, but I'll do my best. I've had a personal yoga practice for 35 years. It has kept me somewhat balanced for some really challenging times in my life. And back in 1990, there weren't any yoga studios in Knoxville, and you had to basically find classes through word of mouth. I stumbled upon my teacher because she was a Nia teacher, and I took a Nia class, and she mentioned that she also taught yoga, and I was just like, yoga, that sounds interesting, and so I started taking her class, and it was like a homecoming for me. It was like just being in myself for the first time ever. But unfortunately, a few months after I started taking her class, she moved to Florida. So I bought a book she recommended called Yoga Thy Iyengar Way, and I started studying the poses and doing my own practice, and that's how my personal practice was born. At times, my practice has been healing, and sometimes it has been absent. But I've always returned to the mat. And on the mat, I can move my body with breath and intention and deeply feel how my mood and mind can change as I go through the poses. Getting on the mat is the hardest part of a yoga practice. So many excuses can be made to not get there. But once you're on there, sometimes getting off is hard. The meaning of the word yoga is yoke or union. It's basically a way to bring together the mind, body, and spirit. And having this yoga practice opened my mind and my eyes to many new beliefs that I hadn't paid attention to before. Even though I came into yoga as more of a physical discipline, it gave me access to the spiritual side of life. I dove into books on Buddhism and meditation and spirituality, and it led me to this church. I became a seeker. And after 10 years of yoga practice, my marriage started to fail. And then my mom died. During this challenging time, I wasn't very consistent with my practice, but I had the foundation to draw strength from. Sometimes all I did was lie on the mat and cry. Sometimes I was to lose myself in a flow that made me sweat and shake. It helped me stay centered for my daughters. It anchored me. Being on the mat changed my mindset from grief to calm. I branched into meditation as well, and every time my life would get chaotic, I'd come back to the mat and recenter. And now with my empty nest, yoga keeps the grief at bay. I have evolved my practice as my life has progressed. Now I work on functional movement, balance, and deeper meditations to prepare for the challenges of aging. I took a yoga teacher training in 2016 that focused on helping the body move more intentionally from the core of the breath. I found at times my movements were basically momentum and gravity. So slowing down the poses made them harder, but also more beneficial. And that knowledge helped me in other areas of my life as well. Yoga teaches you to find comfort in uncomfortable positions, and that can be physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Discomfort that you work with, becoming present, breathing, moving with intention, all these things help me in so many ways to deal with life's curveballs. My yoga experience has been a gateway drug into all kinds of energetic alternative healing modalities. I came to sound therapy by learning about it in a meditation retreat. And from there, I learned the basic heart-based meditations, and I took lots of other trainings in energy and sound work. And now, as we enter into one of the most tense times in our nation's history, I bring diamond white light into my heart daily and send out healing energy to all who need it. I find all this beauty that I can bring to my life, even when I'm kind of broken, is possible because I found the practice of yoga and stuck with it. Nurturing my energetic being through these practices keeps me open and strong in mind and body. My spirit is leading the way, and that is a beautiful thing to experience. So please rise as you're able for hymn. Please rise as you're able for hymn 1015 in the teal hymnal.
Days be dark with storm.
Providing emotional support is sometimes achieved by listening to someone without judgment and by demonstrating to them that we truly hear them by responding with empathy and compassion. When we practice active listening while resisting the impulse to try and fix things, as well as also resisting the impulse to try to persuade someone to feel differently about the situation, we can accomplish meaningful communication. And as our last act of worship, please turn and greet your neighbor. Thank you.
Well, 12:30, I get some coffee.
So